Is it possible to gain the world without losing your soul in the process? The good news is, yes it is. But it's not as easy or as glamorous as some would have you believe. Building wealth God's way requires more than ambition, but it requires a heart that's aligned with Him and a mindset that is rooted in kingdom principles. It takes strategy, discipline, and a willingness to actually follow the blueprints of heaven and not the trends of this world. Because this isn't about flashiness, luxury, or the lifestyle that your favorite business influencers and coaches show you every day with a little sprinkle of God on top, but this is about stewardship. Understanding why God actually entrusts us with resources and how He expects us to multiply them for His glory. So I want you to lock in here, because today we are going to uncover how we're actually going to build wealth in a way that goes beyond the aesthetics and worldliness. A wealth that not only influences this life, but impacts our eternity as well. Hello ladies, welcome back to ChristAdorn, where we believe that our beauty and adornment is not merely external, but it is of the person of Christ hidden in our hearts. We are back with a new video this week, and we are talking about building wealth God's way. And I want to go ahead and drop a disclaimer here. I am not here to teach you how to get wealthy tomorrow and the 3 steps to make $1 million by tomorrow. This video is more so teaching you who you need to become to possibly get wealthy tomorrow. I mean, we know building wealth is not overnight, but as with anything that we build, we know it has to start with a strong foundation. And you becoming the person who is capable to build wealth that God actually cares about is a part of building that strong foundation. So you may like this video, you may not, because I am going to tell you some things that people just may not tell you. The internet is full of fluff these days. Everybody is prophesying, oh, it's your season to be wealthy. But I'm here to tell you, it just may not be your season if you are not building after the blueprint of heaven. Or you could possibly come into wealth and then forfeit your eternity in the middle of it. And that is not what we want. As we started this video, is it possible to gain these things and still keep your soul? And that is what we want, to be able to build wealth in a way that does not disqualify us for heaven. So getting straight into point 1, you have got to live a life of consecration. And I know you're probably going to click off this video right here. I'm probably going to lose a lot of people, because we have become a generation of people who wants all of the things of God without actually being in covenant with God. And if you want to build anything for God, you want to receive anything from God, you have to belong to God. And living a life of consecration is a life that is just saying, I'm set apart. That the way that I live, the things that I do, that it is set apart to the glory of God and not to the glory of this world or to my flesh. Proverbs 8:18 says, with me are riches and honor, enduring wealth and prosperity. Some translations say lasting wealth. And this is a difference that I believe of building with the wisdom of God, because it is a wealth that endures. It is a wealth that lasts beyond what is happening in this world, behind what is going on with the economy. Building with God produces a wealth that lasts forever. It is enduring no matter the seasons and circumstances. But here's the thing. It also goes on to say that I, wisdom, dwell with righteousness. So you have to be righteous. You have to walk in righteousness to have the wisdom of God to build. And to have the wisdom of God, it requires the fear of the Lord. You have to have a heart that fears the Lord. And this is not a fear where you're trembling in your boots and you're scared of the Lord. No, the Lord doesn't want you scared of Him, but He wants you to reverence Him. You should have a healthy fear of the Lord where you are just not going to do everything, where you're not going to live a life where I'm going to have Jesus and this. Okay, I'm not going to have Jesus and sleeping with my boyfriend. I'm not going to have Jesus and getting drunk on the weekends and doing drugs and then showing up to church on Sunday just to reset myself. Okay, I'm not going to have Jesus and lying and stealing and cheating people. No, but I'm going to have Jesus and Jesus alone. I'm going to do my best to live a righteous life. That way the wisdom of God, the wisdom to build, the wisdom to receive and to make wise and prudent decisions will be my portion, because it only dwells, as we see, with righteousness. And I want to convince you that wealth really is your portion. Wealth was something that the Lord received and took out of the hands of the enemy when He died on the cross. I know a lot of people think that wealth and getting money is just reserved for the kingdom of darkness, or that you got to sell your soul to get wealth, but you really don't. Revelations 5:12, it says, saying with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb who was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessings. So one of the things that Jesus received when he made the sacrifice on the cross was riches. And in him is the ability to unlock wealth and riches in this earth. This is a part of the keys that the Lord took back from Satan, that we no longer have to sell our souls. We no longer have to compromise to live abundant lives on this earth. However, the Lord is not interested in giving you riches and honor and blessing if he know it is going to cost you your eternity. And if you struggle with being righteous now, I'm here to tell you that you're probably going to keep delaying whatever it is that God has for you, because he is more committed to seeing you become after the image of Christ than he is seeing you living in the lap of luxury, okay? Driving that Bentley, that Rolls Royce, okay? He desires to see you make it in the end than to see you have everything that you want right now. So in this moment, this is not to condemn, this is not to judge. Yes, we are all imperfect. Every day we are working and striving to kill this flesh, to bring it under subjection. As Paul says, I buffet my body, I treat it harshly. Why? Lest I preach to others and then I myself be a castaway. This here is the caveat. You have to buffet yourself. You have to bring your flesh under subjection. You have to treat it harshly. If you look up the definition of buffet, it literally is like harsh, like a beating. I beat this flesh. And I say, girl, you gonna act right. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. And you can't keep delaying me from what the Lord has for me, because this flesh is not going. She's not going up there, okay? So we have to bring it into subjection. Moving on to number 2. We are going to become radical about building ourselves. If you want to build great things with God, you have to work on becoming a master builder. And becoming a master builder starts with building yourself. Become a master builder of yourself. No one knows you like yourself and like God does. You know your flaws. You know your shortcomings. You know if you're lazy. You know if you're not consistent. You know if you easily give up. You know if you lack education. You know if you lack communication skills. You know the things and areas that you need to work on. Work on them. Don't make excuses. No more having a slack hand, because we know that leads to poverty. We are going to look at ourselves and do an audit of where we need to align. Okay, this is not about perfection, but this is about alignment. So if I know that I'm a person who I'm a little lazy, which I was very lazy, okay? I needed hours and hours of leisure time. And I prayed, Lord, I cannot break this laziness. Lord, please help me with being lazy. And you know what he did? He made me extremely busy, to where I just don't even have the time to even think about being lazy. And if I do, so much is going to pile up that just thinking about that alone, I'm like, oh no, I gotta get up. The Lord will help you. He will help you. It may not always be in the way that you think. Sometimes we think like, Lord, I'll take this away, and like the big cloud is going to descend and we're just going to be magically like, no, he's going to allow situations. He's going to rearrange your life to make you into the person that you need to be. But you have to be willing to go along with this process, okay? If you know that there's things that you don't know, if you lack skills, if you're just not really sure what to do, pick up a book. There's so much free information on the internet. Learn a new skill. Learn how to communicate. Practice your speaking. Because learning how to talk, how to effectively communicate is very important for wealth building. Unless you're just going to be like a trader or somebody who just makes money within the confines of the home and you don't need to talk to other people, yet and still, I think it's still important to know how to communicate with people, just being disciples, as people who need to raise up other disciples and preach the gospel. Knowing how to communicate is important. Work on those things. If you know that you lack energy and you're overweight and you're not healthy, do something about it. Don't get up every day and be like, I do not like the person I look at in the mirror. Fix it. It is within your power to do so. Go to the gym. Create yourself a routine. Hop on over to ChatGPT and say, hey, this is how much I weigh. This is what I want to do. Help me create a plan that I can stick to and follow. Ask the Holy Spirit. Forget ChatGPT. You don't even really need ChatGPT. Sometimes, it can just draft you out workout. But sit with the Holy Spirit and say, Lord, what are the steps that I can do now to begin working towards everything that you have for me? Because many times we're waiting on our next level when the Lord is waiting for you to get serious about where you are right now. Get serious and radical about building yourself up and becoming the person that God has created you to be, the person that is capable of building a multi-million-dollar brand, a person that is capable of stewarding the wealth and the riches that the Lord has allotted to you. And lastly, we are going to be cheerful givers. Now, if I did not lose you in point one, I know I'm probably going to lose some people here because we are very stingy and we don't play about our coins. But I'm here to tell you that if you are not a giver, if you are not a cheerful giver, you are not a generous giver, you are not going to receive back. And this is a biblical principle. There are many scriptures that shows us how much God honors giving, that you have to be a giver. And one thing that I have been learning in this whole building wealth thing is when the Lord has called you to be when God has called you to sow into the kingdom, I can't think of the official word that we use, but when the Lord has called you to, fund the kingdom, that the Lord does not wait until you have money to start developing that in you. No, He's going to start developing that in you when you only barely got pennies to rub together, okay? People are going to always be coming to you asking for money. People are always around you or going to seem to always be in need. And I remember there was a time where I'm like, gosh, Lord, everybody around me has some type of need. And I'm always able to give and to help them. Even if it's not a lot, I always have something to give and to help them. But when I need help, it's like, I gotta search through the desert. And it's like, no, I called you to be a financier of the kingdom. There it is. A kingdom financier. So the Lord is going to start developing that in you now. He is going to start developing that in your life to where you are the one with the solutions. You are the one with the answers. You are the one with the resources, even if it's not a lot, even if it's $5. If that was your last $5 and somebody is like, yeah, I really need $2. It's going to happen a lot. And a lot of you're probably like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Because you're trying to figure out, why is everybody always coming to me with their problems? Why is I barely got it. And it's like the Lord is developing you for where you're going. So give. Count it all joy. Even if it's just a little bit. Give. If it's a sacrifice now, give it. The Lord is testing you also for where you're going. Many times we're waiting to get there when the Lord is testing and working on our heart and our character now. And I want to share a dream that I had about this, because it was a dream. I had some leftover French toast sticks from Burger King, and I love French toast sticks from Burger King. But I came home and I also had some frozen French toast sticks in the freezer. And it was a table of people around me, and they were starving. They had not eaten all day, and they were looking at me like, I'm hungry. You gonna feed me? I'm like, I got some French toast sticks in the freezer. Y'all can have those. And I remember, maybe I turned my back or walked away for a minute, and I came back, and they had took my French toast sticks out of the freezer and my leftover French toast sticks, split it up, and it was enough for all of us to be able to eat. And I was so upset in this dream because I'm like, those are my French toast sticks. Like I said, y'all can have the ones in the freezer. I really wanted mine. But they was looking like we ain't had nothing to eat all day. Like, you ate, you have food. We don't have nothing. And the Lord began to one, really reveal my heart at that time, but also show me what it looks like to be a benefactor of the kingdom. That sometimes it's not always out of our abundance that the Lord calls us to give, to share, but sometimes it is out of the little bit that we have left, yet and still is effective, and the Lord honors it. Be a cheerful giver and pay your tithes. I know everybody has a debate about paying your tithes. You're not going to go to hell if you don't pay your tithes, but there is great blessings attached to paying your tithes. So if it is in your power to do, pay your tithes. So that is it for this part of Building Wealth God's Way. We're probably going to come back for a part 2, because I really do believe that we are in the season. The Lord led me to read about the year of Jubilee last week, and talked about, when you are preparing for a year of Jubilee, one, we know that the year of Jubilee is a year of freedom, where slaves get set free, people get to go back and redeem their land, and all of these things. But the point that I was really focusing on is preparing for the year of Jubilee. How the Lord said, when you sow your seed in the 6th year, when you go to harvest in the 7th year, you're going to have 3 times as much. that by the time you get to year 8, you're still going to be eating off the seeds that you planted in year 6. And I truly believe that we are in that season. And I want to release that over whoever is watching, that every seed that you are planting in this season, by harvest time, that you shall reap 3 times as much. That by the time year 8 comes, you are still eating off the harvest of the seeds you planted this year. I thank you guys for watching today's video. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I invite you to go ahead and join the family over here. We do all things faith, femininity, Christian lifestyle, and the whole totality of what I feel it is to be a feminine woman of God. So we talk about marriage, we talk about wealth building, business, friendships, relationships, and we're also a fashion brand. So check the links below. You can see all of the products that we have in stock. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.